you dumb, beautiful fucker.
Who wants to be in America's slash fic with Abraham Lincoln?
Louisiana Purchase, that's a name.
You need to really get off my balls, okay? I'm gonna kick your ass.
Also, why was Michelangelo so stinky? Ew.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to this non-canon files edition of All You Can Hear. It's been a little bit since we had one, but we have another movie full of spoilers, full of takes, full of things to say, and let's go ahead and get started. I'll be your host today, Patrick, and joining me today are my four cohabitating co-hosts.
Eddie, lick my taint, Eddie. Lick it good. Lick that fleshy front bridge, Eddie. Lick it, Eddie. Oh, God, Eddie. My name is John.
All right, my name's Carnage Cole.
Canon is in the process of rebooting.
I let all of y'all go first.
I'm wet feet Wenzel.
Yeah, you got that
Man,
weird
I guess
extra
that
toe
would make
thing.
me Cletus Cassidy Cannon guy.
That Cletus guy.
That Cletus guy.
It doesn't have the same ring to it.
Also, that fucking, you just had me like die already immediately before we even started.
Oh, I mean, to be fair, this is what we do, like, behind the scenes
I
for,
know.
like, the past, 2 days.
Yeah,
Yes.
welcome to the show, Can.
I've never been here before.
Nope.
This is my first time.
Yeah. We have erased Cannon's memory as of this moment.
Yes.
We're not in the movie, just of his time on the show.
Yeah.
Hey, Cannon, you want to watch the thing?
Cannon, you owe me $70.
$70? But
Yeah.
That was a memory erasure fee.
Yeah, you broke my leg.
I don't know why the two word most prolific keep flashing in my head for some reason though. I don't know what those two words mean.
No, those are just fake memories implanted by the scrolls.
Okay. I'll bite.
I think we got symbiotes in our brains. They're
Yeah.
eating our fucking brains.
If you listen to this episode, just know that we're all sitting in our respected chairs.
All gooped up.
Yeah, all gooped up. Because let me tell you, brother, I was gooped after watching this movie.
Yeah, we're all goofed up, man. Oh wait,
There wasn't a seat that wasn't wet when the credits rolled.
man, everybody was like good theater reaction.
Because y'all saw it on preview night, correct?
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
Nobody walked out of the theater. Everybody just slid out of the theater. That
Yeah,
night.
they were leaving snail trails and slug marks all the way down the train.
All right, before we get too disgusting, I gotta ask, what's around the room right now? What's everybody's symbiote name? Go.
Jonathan.
Why do I have to go first?
Yeah, what's your symbiote name?
Sludge.
I'm hemoglobin.
That works.
Okay.
Yes,
That
I'm
works.
hemoglobin. You heard me.
My turn?
Yeah, go ahead, Colt.
Chunk.
Okay.
I want to be doo-doo brown, too. That's what my color is.
Fucking Golgothan in the house.
Oh God, Pat.
Damn, I wish I could remember because I actually had a symbiote OC that my friends and I made up in high school. I could be like pulling some like archaic shit out right now.
It's probably like Evanescence. Something like that.
First word that came to mind: paranoia.
Ooh.
We'll destroy you.
Oh, okay.
Wow, that's a serious answer, Pat.
Okay,
Wait
well, I have a
minute.
serious answer too. Mine would be Rampage.
AEW.
AEW
God, you
Rampage.
guys suck.
9 p.m. on the TNT.
Not a sponsor. All right, now I'm going to have
Yep.
to come up with a serious one before the episode.
Okay, well, I got to come up with a silly one.
I'm sticking with Sludge. Damn.
Okay, what if my symbiote's nice and his name is Putty?
Okay, that's a good one. Buddy's got
Yeah,
one
just
tooth.
one
That's
big
what I
tooth and
picture.
it's sticking out of his head.
Not even in his mouth.
I'm changing mine to Slug to Hematoma.
Yeah, but
Actually,
okay.
I'm still sludge.
What are your colors though? Like, what's your symbiote color?
Purple and like doo-doo green.
Could we be a tag team since we both have hemo in our name?
I'm sticking with sludge. Actually, I was just doing that for a bit.
Yeah,
but I mean, we can still be tag partners.
Hell yeah, I'm down. Get the symbiote tag team championship belts.
Yep.
You know, that would be a cool gimmick. Have like lucha mask, but like in the style of like the symbiote. Like,
I mean,
It's actually
Penta
happened
had
before.
a Venom
Yeah,
gear, didn't he?
yeah. Penta El Zero Miro
Zero Miedo.
had a Venom style
That's-
mask at one point. Yeah, it was pretty rad.
that's pretty cool. Oh, my color would be blue. Just some kind of blue.
I want mine to be, like I said, doo-doo brown, but with red streaks in it. So,
Oh,
it's just blood.
you have blood in the stool.
Yes.
Cold is obviously the most disgusting symbiote.
The strongest one, too. I'm born
No,
when
no,
someone
no,
bites
not
in the
no.
Carnage.
You have a little bit of red streaks. Does not make you that strong.
No, it makes me super strong, and my mega ability is not like tornadoes or anything cool like that. It's I make you
I
shit
think I
your
got my
pants if I
serious
look at you.
symbiote name.
All right,
Okay.
let's hear it.
I don't know why,
What
but
is
I
it?
kind of dig how it rolls off the tongue. Plasm.
Okay.
What was
All
it?
right.
Plasm.
Oh,
That's
okay.
cool.
All right. I vibe with that.
Might even be a real
I
character.
like it.
I don't fucking know. That encyclopedia is vast.
Yeah, there are a lot of symbiotes that may or may not still be around after Donny Cates' Venom run.
Yeah, this is true.
But anyway, we're not talking about the Venom comics, though I'm sure that will come into discussion. We're discussing Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, and yeah, of course you're thinking like, but Pat, John, Ken, Colt, and Winslow, y'all didn't do Venom 1. Well, shut your mouth. We're doing Venom 2 right now.
Yeah.
It was just because that we all saw Venom 2, and we're just like, we were just feeling the high after this movie, and we just couldn't not discuss the fucking cockamamie chicanery that happened in this movie.
No, yeah, no freaking way. I'm sorry, Pat, to cut you off or anything, but like Venom 1 was like fun, but like it was nowhere near the hype that is this movie. Cause like it's one thing, like, you know, to see the trailers and be like, oh, Carnage, 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 you know, but then to actually experience it and be like, holy shit, this is like, it's just hype all the way through. Like, and like, so, you know, spoilers, of course.
Yeah, there will be full
obviously.
spoilers, so in case you haven't seen it, go check it out, or you know, or you haven't seen it, this will be your companion piece to help you digest and, you know, metabolize the insanity that you just watched. So this probably won't be like a strict like recap breaking down exactly what happened in chronological. It's more so just like a general discussion of the fucking bullshit that happened. So yeah, right out of the gate, I was gooped the whole time. Like there was so much shit in this movie that I did not see coming, and I was just like, no, ma'am, they did not do that. The fucking audacity of this movie. because like for reference, Colt Winslow saw it on their own, and then John, Ken, Liz, and I, we all saw it ourselves. I would say the four of us, the art house, we were having more fun in that theater than anyone else.
Anyone else? Yes.
Because we were laughing harder, we were reacting bigger to everything.
Like we were at the like tip top in the middle, and we were hee-hawing, like hee-hawing, having a grand old time, and then everyone else just seemed like they were just a stick.
It was like a Tuesday night, so I guess they're a little more subdued, but like we were feeling good walking into that joint, and then by God, we were feeling great when we left.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah,
I guess
dude.
we had a really good. We had the Venom fan audience, I guess.
Yeah.
Because
for
like people
sure.
there were having a fun time.
No, like anytime, you know, like, you know, some of the big moments happen, everybody was just like, what the fuck? Like cheering, like, well, I should say the most cheering was towards something very crazy at the end.
But we'll definitely cover that.
But like for the most part, everybody was just hooping and hollering because, my God, it was a fun freaking movie. Like,
Funny,
it
like it was
baffles-
like really funny. Now there's a lot in the movie that's genuinely purposely funny, but there's some dumb fucking shit that is too funny not to laugh at.
No, okay, we should go ahead and say it. Anytime we saw Woody Harrelson's fucking face, me and Colt fucking laughed. We giggled. We snickered.
He was just eating in the jail cell, and I was just laughing at him. It looked so fucking funny.
I mean, Woody Harrelson's already a funny-looking motherfucker. Anyway,
I will say they did him better in this one because that Raggedy Ann wig he had at the end of Venom 1.
oh god,
Yes,
that was bad.
yes. No, me and Colt were talking about that because we were both so glad they cut his hair because my God, that was just awful.
God, if he wasn't in a straitjacket in that scene, I could have sworn he was going to start pulling out props and telling me jokes. But
And how he got Carnage is also funny to me as well. I'm just picturing the Woody Harrelson saying, "That's why your mama dead as hell. Your shoes raggedy," and then Venom like chokes him out until he bites him. That's exactly what happened.
God, and I wanted to get it out of the gate. This movie did have me chuckling real early on. Like at the very beginning, there's this actor who's obviously not Woody Harrelson, but Woody Harrelson's voice is coming out of his mouth, and I don't know why. It just wasn't working.
It
but
was
it also
so
made me
unnatural.
fucking laugh. I was like, "This is weird," but it's.
I thought it
funny.
was because when like 1996 Woody Harrelson shows up, which is like it's funny because like in the movie he's supposed to be like late 30s into 40s, but Woody Harrelson's like almost 60.
Yeah.
So like there's some very generous timetables there. I was like, because at first I thought like that kind of was like Tom Holland, but then like when they kind of moved it around out of the shadows, like okay maybe not, but like that first thing's like, wait a minute, that's not right.
Yeah, it was weird.
And some wibbly wobbly shit where they steal his girlfriend Shriek, who may or may not be a mutant. They definitely tease that. It's like, oh, they sent me away for people with powers. Can they get better? And it's like, it's not Xavier Institute. It's the fucking Ravencroft mental institution.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I was about to say, I thought Ravencroft was very familiar. Is that the place that was in the New Mutants?
I still haven't seen that one. Isn't that pretty much just Marvel's Arkham Asylum?
It's essentially that's their Arkham Asylum. I mean, they featured a lot in Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
But that's just kind of like that's their famous mental institution for like for the crazy baddies.
I was very surprised about Shriek's role in the film, just because every time I saw her, or like, because I knew Shriek, I knew she had like a vocal power, so like I never thought I didn't realize that was gonna be Cletus Cassidy's love interest. Like that's a weird combo, but also I think it's kind of cool, like the foil between like having this woman who is like a sound-based power, and then you have creatures that are weak to that.
They set that up that, like, oh, when Cletus has the Carnage symbiote and he goes to bust her out and is like, hell yeah, baby, she starts like screaming to like blow up the helicopters. He's like, shut up, bitch. And Carnage and Cletus in the movie, they're separate entities, where in the comics they're more so like one-to-one almost, like kind of a single mindset.
Yeah. Okay. That was the one. I will say that's the one thing that kind of bothered me about this film was that like, I was like, it was too weird. Like, like Cletus Cassidy was still a serial killer in the movie, but the thing is that like they're like, oh, he was beaten by his parents, but then he has a woman he meets who's his only love interest, who's his only light in the world. So that gives him that should give him more sympathy. I don't know why they just didn't I don't know why Andy Serkis, the director, or anybody just didn't go full bonkers and say, yeah, the guy's a serial killer piece of shit, and we're gonna give him a ton of power.
I will say, like, their relationship was the weakest part of the movie for me. Like, because I was having hella fun with the Venom Eddie shit. That anytime it would kind of cut back to Cletus, who's supposed to be the big charismatic bad, I was like, but I want to go back to the gay couple. That was more fun.
Because like that is biggest strength of the movie is that we're in the first one that everybody thought like the strongest part was like the Venom and Eddie dynamic, and they decided to take the strong part and accentuate that, because the biggest part of the movie is like the hostile marriage bickering of Venom and Eddie, and I honestly, I'm sure some Venom fans were a little butthurt about it. Just making Venom just like this big fucking goober, and he's just like this movie's a goddamn cartoon. Like, it is so goofy and like silly, but to me, that's one of the best parts of it.
Yeah, it gives it its charm.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Exactly. And I got to go into the negative right now. Not my negative, but like that's the one thing I saw that there was some like you said, not hardcore, but like people who are quote fans of Venom. They were just like, oh yeah, this depiction of Venom is shit. This is the worst depiction ever. They have completely no, this is word for word what some people I've seen said, and it's for some reason line to line. It's kind of weird, but they all say the same thing. This is the worst depiction of Venom ever. They have ruined the character. This is just awful, terrible, horrible. I can't believe they did this. What the hell?
Okay.
Oh my god.
All right. Honestly, this is the best depiction of Venom that ever was and ever will be, and I will stand by that statement to the grave. Because when I was a little kid and I was a Spider-Man fan, I loved the fuck out of Spider-Man. I loved the fuck out of Carnage. He could like make knives and shit. That was cool. But Venom, I always thought was lame. Like in the comics, at least the ones I've read, they just took him way too seriously. And because this is kind of like a funny concept, like if done in the right way, and this is just funny as shit, and I love it. I'm actually like, holy shit, I actually care about Venom for the first time in like ever.
I was about to say, we got to get you some of the Donny Cates run in your hands.
Oh yeah, like when I say this was like when I was a little kid.
Yeah. Like back in the day, it's like Venom's like, ooh, nice, gritty, grimy.
Yeah.
Fighting off, people be like pissed off because like Venom's not like serious and he's not like just like murking people and like eating their brains and shit. Like I love how like Eddie's got to like to keep him on a leash like a dog. It's like, no, you can't be eating no people now. It's not. this isn't. I don't know, because I'm not really interested in like another like somber, serious movie like about just like this big evil blob thing just like murdering folks. Like, to me, like that's not as compelling as like watching this like very homoerotically human monster dynamic, because like that's so much more fun than just like this bleak story. And obviously if you like the other interpretations of Venom, that's well within your right, but I feel like to me this is much more palatable
and fun.
Exactly. No, that's how I feel, Pat. Because like you said, this kind of this whole I'm sorry, I can't get it. This homoerotic like relationship that they kind of got going on. I don't know. Like, it's just like you said. I find it more interesting, more complex, because like Eddie himself is human, and he's not some kind of like, I don't know. You get certain comics and cartoons that like depict him as a big baddie. But like,
he's a baddie, all right.
He's human after all, and it's like let's deal with some like more fun stuff. Like I'm not saying we can't go one for one for certain things, but like I like that the MC the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this universe and whatever other universes are out there. I like that they're doing their own thing, rather than trying to be one for one. But when they do go one for one, don't get me wrong, it can be kind of fun. But being being not original, but like being this kind of
just having a different version, because
I guess more original, more creative.
Because unfortunately, the risk you run of like being like so close to the comic in your adaptation of it, it doesn't give you a lot of room for surprises. Like if you just like plain face adapt like a storyline or a character arc, it's it's kind of like you just have the same thing twice. Yeah. Because at least plus every other Marvel adaptation, like they take bits and pieces of famous well-known story arcs and character moments, and they sort of like combine them in a new way. And they're just having like this completely almost like a farce version of Venom and his characters. I feel like is more fun. And plus, like when you have Venom, who's like this really stark, serious character who kills and eats people, and his bad guy is a stark, serious, evil character that kills people. Like, how do you really root for someone who's just slightly less evil than the guy he's fighting?
Like, yeah, you gotta. I mean, he was obviously always meant to be an anti-hero, and they went that route, and they went that route in a very fun way because that whole scene of basically Eddie and Venom, having like a fight and then kind of breaking up. Like, I think everybody in the theater, but I was laughing, and Colt was laughing, so me and him were laughing so hard that I couldn't tell if anybody else was laughing, but it was fun. It was so funny.
Venom is like slapping Eddie around the whole damn apartment, and he's like throwing shit out the windows, like, get out, and like the homeless man's like, keep it down up there.
Oh,
and like he throws out the TV.
Like this is like a fucking Charlie Chaplin bit.
Like,
Yeah.
And the thing is, too, Venom was telling him to get out, and Eddie's like, "This is my apartment. What are you telling? Like, what is a slime gonna do in a?" Anyway, but no, it was so great too when Venom was throwing out the TV, and then Eddie was like, "I'll do it," and he's holding. We didn't mention this: the two most important characters of this film, Cher
Two chickens
and
that
Sonny.
Venom made Eddie adopt and keep in their apartment.
Okay, no, Eddie got them for Venom to eat, but Venom adopted them because he loves Cher and Sonny. He can never eat them because they are his friends and family.
Yep. And it's like, how does Venom, who is apparently this brand new alien from outer space, all of a sudden know all these pop culture references? Fuck it. It doesn't matter.
Well,
I mean, I can make sense of that. It's because he can read Eddie's mind and get all the information.
And
from him.
he has access to the television too. And I mean, Eddie will let him like take the wheel a little bit, and he'll just kind of do stuff. And I mean, he's smart too. I mean, hell, there was that scene in there where Eddie didn't even notice all that shit for some reason in the prison cell, and then Venom picks up on it and is trying to show him what it means, which is kind of cool in my opinion.
God,
it makes sense.
That bit where Venom is like making Eddie draw shit at like supersonic speed, I was fucking hooting.
It was hilarious. That was good.
It was great.
This movie
Yeah.
was fucking Looney
sure.
Tunes, and I love it. And it's just like horny, gay monster Looney Tunes.
And it was the perfect length. I think it didn't overstay its welcome.
Yeah.
And, it knew
It was
when
like-
to
It
end.
was only an hour and a half.
Yeah, it went by really quickly.
Because I remember, like, as we were building up to the end of the movie, I'm like, oh, fuck, we're already here. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I was like that too, and I was like, oh shit, let's go. Here we go. Like, man, I don't know. Should we give? I will say, going back to like Carnage and Cletus, anytime Carnage was out though, I loved it.
Yeah. I thought
Carnage was
really
sick
good.
as shit.
Carnage, anytime he was on screen, was like stealing the moment. Like literally, when he fucking came out after Cletus was being executed, sick shit, man, sick shit.
He does the whole tornado attack, and then whenever he's getting shot, the bullets go into his goo, and he redirects them through his muscle goo out his tentacle tips, and he's shooting them with their own bullets. And then later in the movie, whenever he screams, they're playing it up. They're having fun with it. They're like, "Let there be carnage."
They said the
tagline,
thing.
the name of the movie.
The whole theater shakes. It was so awesome. I think it was because like I know in the original movie it was like kind of a big thing where like Tom Hardy did the voice for Venom, and he does the voice for Venom in this too. I think Woody Harrelson does the voice for Carnage.
And I did notice they changed Venom's voice a little bit. Like it's not as scary for Warning. Like obviously it's still like monstrous, but like they definitely tweaked it to make it sound a little less intimidating. Because like the whole movie is just sort of like more silly and more funny. So like obviously him having the same sort of like scary monster voice doesn't quite mesh with like this like extremely comedic tone. And I will say, I'll call back to an episode of Cage and Greatness. We get to refute Shammy on the air saying because he was under the impression, he was under the belief that the first 15 minutes would just be all the funny humor stuff, and the rest of the movie is just stark bleakness, which we can confirm that is definitely not true. It is fucking goofy and silly throughout.
Yeah, like there are just moments sprinkled throughout this movie where it's just insanity, but it makes you laugh. Like I was just like jumping around in my seat. A lot of moments in this movie.
There were so many moments where like because Liz and I sat next to each other in the theater, like we were just like grabbing each other across the street, but just couldn't fucking deal with the bullshit. There was one moment where, like, after Cletus had busted Shriek out of the loony bin, and they're like talking, oh, we should get married, and then he just rambles on, blah blah blah. Then when Carnage says, "Our red wedding," I was like, "No, ma'am, I gotta get up, I gotta go."
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. That was
Like,
kind of cheesy.
There
but
were
it was
so
still
many
fun.
like just straight up cheesy lines, and just like, and on paper, I would say bad dialogue. But the way it just sort of looped back around, like, it was fucking funny.
Yeah.
I'm just a boy and you're an amoeba.
And,
That's
and
what
that was
Eddie
during
says.
a somber moment, and it's like, what?
Well, like, I don't know, like, because usually all the stuff I've seen Tom Hardy in, he's pretty subdued, usually. I mean, like, you know, he has moments in Mad Max or whatever. But even in the first movie, I don't know what the fuck that accent is. I don't know what he's doing, but it is fucking entertaining.
It's like several accents.
Yeah.
But
He going in and out, and then he's just like screaming like the entire time.
I loved how he was just in flop sweat the whole time, and he's just like jittering, like he looks like a meth head.
Like he looks like he's hyped up on Adderall.
I will say, though, I think it kind of worked, though.
I mean,
for
yeah,
what it
but-
was.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like,
I fucking love it.
It's very much in line with like what's happening to the character. It's just fucking funny how we go from like how like Venom 1 and Venom 2 are two vastly different movies, and for the better for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, probably in terms of pacing, I would agree.
I just love
maybe.
Tom
Yeah, because like
Hardy.
the first like half
Tom
hour
Hardy.
of Venom 1 it's very methodical. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
okay, we're getting to the zhuzh, and it's like, okay. But like I feel like all the strengths that it's like what worked in Venom they accentuated here, and even they sort of learned their lesson. Like the final battle with Carnage and Venom, it's like it's much more brightly lit than the final battle in the first movie, which a lot of people complained it was hard to tell what was going on.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I still had a hard time seeing what was going on in this movie.
Yeah.
And that final scene.
I'm sure the home version will be easier to deal with.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
As it always is.
I should say spoilers for the first Venom 2, because why not? I will say, though, something I kind of like going back also to the first Venom movie. I don't know if it was anybody's like kind of, even though we barely got him, I really did kind of like Riot. Even though he wasn't much of a presence, I thought the concept of Riot was kind of cool, but also kind of weird because it's like he has an arsenal of weapons, but like also, you know, what's Venom like?
Also,
what,
that always
what's Venom
bothers me
supposed
too,
to have?
because it's like, yeah, you can like make his symbiote and turn it into, you know, whatever he wants. They're just like, isn't that
That's
Venom can do that too, and Carnage can do that.
That was the thing with Carnage. Like, Venom was just like basically like dark, edgy, hulky Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then like Carnage was like the even more extreme, edgy 90s, because he can like make swords and blades and shit with his symbiote.
Yeah.
And he's like a more visceral looking character. Like in the movie, like they made him look like he like actually just like frayed musculature, like just like stretched out with like tentacles.
They made him lean as well. As compared to Venom, he's leaner.
Carnage is always lean.
Yeah,
though.
usually like Venom is always like the thicker, more built one, and Carnage is just more
Big himbo.
I thought for I would have bet money on it when Venom was on his own, like, and he's in the rave, and I thought for sure someone was gonna call Venom Daddy, either to his face or just screaming out in the audience. Like, I was fucking waiting for it.
Either that or they're gonna call him a bear,
I mean, God.
and I was ready for it.
I mean, it was his first day out of the Eddie closet. They're playing very hard into it right there.
I was fucking gagged that entire fucking
Oh
scene.
my god. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, you know, even though there's like a homoerotic relationship going on between Eddie and Venom, there was that one scene I was laughing. I was uncomfortable, but I was still kind of laughing because I was like, you know what? This is kind of fun. Or it's really fun. Was the scene when he was Venom was possessing the Chinese, I think Chinese woman,
Miss Chen.
Oh yeah, Miss Chen.
Miss Chen, who owns the little store. which was really fucking funny. But then Anne goes into saying, "Ooh, you're a big sexy hero. I love it." Like what the fuck?
like she's trying to like appeal to his vanity to come help them out.
And then Venom's like, "Oh yeah."
But because in the third movie that is eventually going to happen, there is going to be
in the first Venom, Tom Hardy, Eddie makes out with Venom while also making out with Anne. Like, come on, man.
I mean, the movie is an allegory for establishing an ethical polycule. I'm convinced the next movie, Eddie and Venom and the doctor guy are just going to like have a flesh pile.
I mean, like it's like their polycule gets bigger because like Eddie and Venom are like kind of like they have their own thing going. Then like Anne's kind of worked in the middle, and now Dan's kind of worked in the middle. The doctor, like Anne's boyfriend, and like I just imagine like they're all in a bed and just like this one pile of goo is just jumping between them. Like
it's basically Society, but like awesome.
Get what you fucking deserve.
Well, no, okay. Society was a fun movie, but like what I'm saying is like having like. Wait a minute. What am I saying? Hold on.
You having a Joker monologue?
Society, the movie. It was great.
I think like he's talking about the horror movie Society.
Is that the one with the butt face?
Dude, you watched it this year.
I know. Is it the one with the butt face?
Can you? I guess I have to say yes. Spoiler.
Damn.
Yeah, spoilers for this
Society.
30-year-old
Shit,
movie.
God.
Also, another spoiler for Society. We live in one, and it's a little
Whoa.
messed up.
Take it easy there.
Whoa, now.
Yeah, because like Cletus is kind of like a big red goopy Joker, and Shriek was kind of like a black Harley Quinn. They're Harley and the Joker.
Yeah, the thing is, they're both just insane. The thing is, whenever he broke her out of the prison and she was driving, they weren't trying to escape. They were just drifting and doing donuts. If they didn't have Carnage, they would have been shot and killed on the spot.
Oh, I should say it was insane too when they rescue her and Carnage is like holding them up while they're basically like just rubbing up against each other and Carnage is just killing people.
That was pretty sick.
That was pretty sick. But I was also laughing.
I just thought it was so funny how like immediately just like the fucking National Guard is like pulled in, like there's just like multiple helicopters being flung around and like massive goddamn explosions.
It was sick
fucking
though.
hysterical.
Like freaking Venom or not Venom, Carnage like holding the car up and like just tearing shit up. That was awesome. Like Venom is cool and all being a beefcake, but like that was sick. Like like I said, Carnage stole like anytime he was on screen, he stole it. And
what one thing that I just thought was so funny because it was just the most contrived thing that happened in the movie was when Cletus busts out and it's like, oh, I've been in jail for so long, I need to find my girlfriend. Fucking Carnage hacked this random ass laptop and figure out where she is. And he just like goops his fingers in.
I was talking to Cole about that too. I was like, I did not think that Carnage could hack like that. Like, of course, though.
I loved it. It's one of the funniest like plot contrivances I can think of.
That's one thing I cannot explain. That does not make any sense. Because like I don't think Eddie has that knowledge, and the only way that Carnage would have that knowledge is, I would assume, from Eddie, because Cletus definitely doesn't have that knowledge. His name's Cletus.
Cletus the Slat Jaw Jokel. It's just that hillbilly character from The Simpsons.
Question for Carnage. Did he, after he escaped prison, did he stop by a barber to get that haircut, or did the symbiote just like shape his hair like that?
Because his hair is definitely different. I feel like that was a deleted scene.
No, I think what it was I think it was Carnage that gave him the haircut again. Or sorry, the first haircut, because this is technically his first haircut, but yeah.
Yeah, he definitely didn't have the Raggedy Ann wig. That never happened.
He like his like weird like little points up the front like Carnage with his blade, so it kind of made sense.
I think I remember reading that Woody Harrelson like personally chose Cletus's wardrobe for that movie, giving him like the the fucking Guy Fieri flame shirt with like the blazer on top.
I mean, the shirt was
that
pretty
was
accurate
sick
to
as
the
shit.
character, though, if I remember correctly. Like, didn't Cletus Cassidy wear just like these most like obnoxiously colored, just like Hawaiian shirts and shit sometimes?
I'm not sure. I just kind of remember Cletus in the comics just being like really disheveledly dressed, kind of like
Yeah, like overalls and shit like that.
like a messy T-shirt or something.
I'll have to research this for later.
Yeah, check out the comic wardrobe for like these characters.
Comicwardrobe.com. User / AYCH.
Yeah, it's a
15% off.
website that we started just now. There's nothing on it. We didn't know shit about it.
Where do we get? Oh, also too, this is like nothing to do with the movie, but Carnage is also in the newest season of Fortnite, and we are slowly making his way to getting him because he's like level 100 the battle pass. He looks so fucking good.
Yeah,
So,
as soon as we watched the movie, I said I need to get Carnage in Fortnite. I need him. I
Yeah.
was gonna get him
But-
before, but I want him even more now.
Yeah, you know we're close. We're almost there. But it was so cool though because recently they also had a deal where if you bought the original Venom Marvel skin, you could get the Venom movie skin along with Tom Hardy for a discounted price.
Yeah, you get Tom Hardy with the black Letterman jacket.
Yeah, and I got
Yeah.
that
Oh,
Venom
okay.
doing the Dougie. I got him hitting the whip, doing a little twerk, doing a head nod.
Yeah, because they also added the Dougie in there as well, so it's been really kind of crazy to make Venom do the Dougie while being a thick fucking beefcake.
When I was trying to place who the actress was, I was thinking the whole time that the actress who played Shriek was Tia Dalma from Pirates of the Caribbean. It's like, I don't know, that's her. Am I just being like biased right now? And then I looked up, oh yeah, Jets. It is literally Tia Dalma from Pirates of the Caribbean, Naomi Harris. And I thought for fucking money that the guy who played the detective, the cop, was fucking Donnie Wahlberg.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
for sure that was him.
Like, when we got home, I was like, did anybody else think that cop was like a member of the fucking Wahlberg family? Because he was giving me mad Wahlberg vibes the whole time.
He's got to be like half Wahlberg on his dad's side or some shit.
Yeah, I could see it.
I do know the cop was Patrick Mulligan, who is in the comics he is the original Toxin host, which is technically the grandson of Venom.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, you're right. I was telling Colt about Toxin. I was fairly certain he was like a police detective or something. That's crazy. Now, okay, this is something we're just gonna go ahead and get into. Pete Mulligan is like at some point because he's the one that shot Shriek in the eye and yeah, there's that kind of whole feud right there. But he is like, I think killed at the end because
he was still alive because he said like he was just fucked up.
Like, his eyes do a weird thing.
So that,
I was thinking he got like I was thinking did he get like venomized or something?
I don't know.
Because like his eyes were weird.
Because that's the thing me and Colt were talking about was that his eyes turned blue and he said monsters. And it's like, what is that? Like,
I thought it was
I don't know.
Morbius because Jared Leto retweeted the.
Okay,
fucking
and he keeps
mover.
saying that. It's like, it has nothing to do with vampires, you freaking Twilight freak.
I don't know shit about Morbius. I'm just assuming everything's Morbius. Okay.
Not everything's vampires.
Jared Leto's
movie's
looking at me
vaporware.
through the window. I gotta talk about Morbius.
Well, you need to tell Jared Leto to get away. He won't leave until you tell him to get away.
I can't look at him. He's scary.
I never caught this. Wasn't there a guy in Ravencroft locked up in his cell that kept saying like, "There are monsters down there. There are monsters down there."
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I thought for money that the old lady doctor that had streak, I thought that was Helen Mirren, and it's like, no, ma'am, they did not give that woman bangs.
Okay, that totally did look like her.
I thought I straight up thought it was Helen Mirren.
It's like, wow, Helen, branching out.
Well, I mean, she's done comic book movies before. Isn't that Red movie?
I think
with
yeah,
Bruce
both of
Willis?
them.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, she was in Red. Yeah.
Technically, yeah.
Never read the book, but I did see the first movie.
Okay, what is Helen Mirren's Venom Sona?
Cataracts.
Cataracts. That's good shit.
No, Mayhem. I don't know. I'm just thinking of M's,
Yeah.
but Mayhem is a good name.
Kevin Feige, you're listening. We got Venom 3 right here.
There will be cataracts.
Venom 3, I know that's like a huge possibility right now because of how well Venom 2 did at the box office. But like, it'd be kind of sick if like Mulligan appears again, but he's just Toxin now. I think, because from what I remember, Toxin is actually a good guy in the comics, but it would just be kind of crazy, in my opinion.
I know in the comics, Toxin was like the first like good symbiote, but then he kind of got brainwashed, so I think he's evil, and he definitely looks different because his initial appearance, he's kind of like bigger like Venom, but he was kind of like Spider-Man color, like he's kind of red on top, blue on the bottom. And there's a really cool cover from his first appearance in a mini. But then like after the fact, he became like really big, bulky, and white. He's red on top, black leg, but kind of like this, almost like a fur boa on his back of his neck, but it's like tenderly and a big green tongue. So they definitely changed his design. But yeah, possible. Now, probably the fucking moment that I was like completely gooped, gagged, pressed, and plucked was when after they beat Cletus and Carnage, and Carnage is gobbled up by Venom, and they have fucking Cletus by the short and curlies, and Cletus like, in the end, I just wanted a friend. And then fucking Venom's like, fuck this guy, eats his head. We screamed.
Because, like when Cletus said that, I'm like, they're not going to do this, right? And then fuck this guy. That was
a great moment.
Great.
It was a great moment. Like I was on Venom. I was like, fuck this guy. Yeah, eat him. Get a brain, bro.
God.
It was like, if there's one thing and one thing only that I'm grateful for of these Marvel movies that I guess like aren't, technically MCU movies, at least they get their one F-bomb.
Yeah, they're one F-bomb.
That is very true.
Which, if you only get one, that was the place to use it.
All I want now is a movie where Deadpool and Venom fight for the right to get the one F-bomb.
And they fight the whole movie, and then someone else completely random says it.
Yeah,
and they're just like
Wolverine, Hugh Jackman Wolverine rolls up and goes, just fucking assholes. Just
like,
walk
no.
off. No!
That'd be a good bit. Well, now we got to that point. I think it's time to talk about the big special thing at the end.
Oh.
Because after the end, Eddie and Venom, they sort of they go their separate ways from their friends and family, and realize because they're wrapped up in this whole Carnage thing, they'll never be fully escaped from the law. So they decide to hit the road, and they show up on this random tropical island, and that's how the initial movie ends. But then the mid-credit scenes, there's some little wibbly-wobbly stuff happening.
Can I explain this? Or can I talk about this? Like, can I go into the detail about it? Like,
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so they're sitting there, right? Like we said, the initial movie ends with, we actually get to see some Venom toes, by the way, in the sand. Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm, delicious toes.
Piggies. But so there's,
I can't wait to see Venom's entry on WikiFeet.
But so they're sitting there in like a hotel room on some island, and Venom is talking to Eddie, and Venom mentions how his home planet is like 18 billion light years away, and that all symbiotes share a hive mind, so they all get to have collective information and memories and so on. And Eddie was like, "Well, why didn't you tell me this or do this to me before?" And he's like, "Because it would." And Venom was like, "It would fry your brain. You couldn't be able to handle it." He was like, "Can I give you a taste?" And Eddie's like, "Sure, go for it." So as he's about to do it, the screen and the room and everything are shaking. Everything starts to become out of focus, looking glitchy, looking weird, and then everything changes. Everything changes. Everything looks different. Instead of it being like this kind of shabby little hotel room, it turns into a nice tropical-looking resort. The sun is out, looking pretty, looking nice. It doesn't even look like his room anymore. And then you hear somebody talking on the TV, and it's J. Jonah fucking Jameson talking about how Spider-Man is really Peter Parker, and he's a menace. And who do they show on that fucking TV screen? Tom motherfucking Holland. Tom Holland on that TV screen, and Eddie is like, "What's going on? What happened? What did you do, Venom?" And Venom's like, "I didn't do this. I don't know what's happening." And then Venom comes out and he licks the screen at Peter Parker, Tom Holland saying, "This guy," and yeah, Oh, and then a guy walks in. He's like, "What do you do in my room?"
Yeah, that's the best part about the end scene. I don't know about y'all's end of the movie experience, but our theater was
Our theater
hollering,
was
going, "Oh
was
my
literally
god, oh my
screaming,
god!"
cheering. Like I was literally saying, "Oh my god, what the fuck, what the fuck!" Literally, everybody was saying, "What the fuck," cheering, like "Woo!" Like it was a good experience. It was crazy. Me and Colt were just absolutely just blown out of our fucking heads. And it's so funny, too, because, God, I hope Tanner and Cody don't listen to this before watching the movie. But, like, we've told everybody in the chat, everybody needs to see this movie right now. Because literally from this moment on, that means that technically the first Venom and this Venom are now canon. So they're part of the MCU, and so you kind of gotta watch it.
We have yet to find out like what happened to like kind of trigger this, but assuming it's part of the whole wibbly wobbly like magic effect that happens and can't
No
go
Way
home.
Home.
Yeah,
No
it's
Way
just
Home.
straight up. I think it's happening right as Doctor Strange is doing a spell.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
because okay, if anybody's ever seen Into the Spider-Verse, okay, spoilers for the Spider-Verse, I guess. So Into the Spider-Verse, there's a moment where everybody arrives into Miles Morales' universe, right? But the way they all arrive is they actually arrive at different points in time, because it's like, you know, there's that whole like, I don't know, quantum time travel shit where like Gwen Stacy arrives 2 weeks earlier into you know, the Miles Morales' universe, which, you know, the device that creates this rip in the multiverse happens the 2 weeks later. So it's like, I'm thinking that because Doctor Strange is messing with the timelines and magic and shit, that like, even though like you have to guess that at this point it has to be happening when Doctor Strange fucks up, but really because of how all this time and magic stuff works, he could literally be arriving there at literally like, you know, the very beginning or the very end of what we assume is No Way Home, or like what was the second movie called?
The Multiverse of Madness.
Or the second Spider-Man. Home.
Oh, Far From Home.
It's
Far From
Homecoming
Home.
and
Far From Home. So like that's where we can assume that that's happening. And you know what? Nobody can say that, oh, that doesn't make sense as a plot hole. You can go fuck off, because you know what? Who cares? I don't know how time
It's
travel
cool
works.
as shit, bro.
No,
You got
like
Venom
nobody,
here.
like you go figure out time travel and, you know, put that stuff together. But I say this because let me tell you, even though that was like the hypest, most coolest moment in my opinion, people were like, especially film bro critics were like, oh my god, this is the stupidest fucking post-credit scene ever. I can't believe they did this. Not only did they ruin the Venom character, they ruined the MCU forever. What they're doing with the MCU sucks. The only good MCU movies are the first Iron Man, the first Thor, the first Avengers. Those are the only good ones. Oh, and the first Captain America. Suck my nuts.
I'm gonna beat you with a 2x4.
Yeah, I've been sending Colt like a film bro guy's account talking about Carnage, and it's fucking me up. It's messing Colt up too.
That just reminds me of that dipshit that was mad at the Suicide Squad for ruining Calendar Man.
Oh my god. Fucking touch grass, you nerd.
Okay, but Calendar Man, okay, yeah, he's like a pretty like crazy serial killer, but that's kind of all he is a serial killer. Like what, a guy with a gimmick for calendars? Like, fuck off.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
and plus he has like what, one story of like major significance, and like any other time of that it's like minimal at best. So any like one, like a 3-second cameo is just not like, if you were expecting like a fucking Calendar Man appearance of substantial
Like what?
worth and value in a fucking multi-million-dollar franchise movie, you're fucking delusional.
Like, Calendar Man was pretty cool, pretty fun character for like quests and stuff in Arkham City, but like, really, like, yeah, like they ruined a character for that little second cameo, sure. Man, it's just, but yeah, anyway, that scene was crazy. Like that, like, I told Colt, because I saw this, like, nobody knew if it was like legit, but there was like a leaked photo of Tom Hardy with a No Way Home hat, only for people, cast, staff members of the No Way Home film. And like I kind of just nodded it off as like, you know, it's just another thing that's just kind of like thrown on the internet. But now it's like, holy shit, that's that needs to be taken at face value, like more than face value. That's like a legit photo of Tom Hardy.
It was photoshopped.
Oh, yeah, that was also something else I was talking to Colt about, is how, like, Andrew Garfield keeps denying that he's in No Way Home, and there's, like, some, like, video footage and stuff like that where he keeps saying, oh, yeah, that's Photoshop. It's Photoshop, which some of it is Photoshop, but it's just kind of funny that, like, it just seems like he's trying too hard.
I will say there was, like, a video that I saw that was claiming that this is how the behind-the-scenes video of Andrew Garfield supposedly at No Way Home being made. Like, it's like this very extensive, like, deep fake type thing. If that video is true, or someone who's really good at deep faking recreated that scene. So, like, I don't know, this is the level of fucking, like, galaxy brain bullshit that we're on because of, like, people are just that invested in the comic book movies now. So who the hell knows at this point?
Like, for real. And I will say, too, something else, like, if we kind of if I can kind of explain it a little bit, I have a theory, because people are kind of confused as to why Venom is licking the TV screen, directly referencing, you know, like, this guy, like, seemingly, like, he knows Tom Holland's Peter Parker, because I see some people saying, like, this is the biggest, stupidest fucking plot hole ever. How would he know? Venom doesn't exist in his universe, and Spider-Man doesn't exist in the Venom universe, so this is totally impossible. But, like, the thing is that, like, okay, you know, they can literally do whatever they want. They can retcon it, sure, you know, that's kind of like a cheap way to, like, kind of explain that. But my theory is that sorry, this is going to sound really convoluted, but okay, Venom mentions how the hive mind shares all collective memories and data and information, right? So what I'm thinking is that Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man, and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man are in this movie. So what's happening is that as soon as Venom gets transported into this universe, because he's automatically in here, his mind is automatically connected to the collected data and hive mind of the Venom that was from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man's universe, Sam Raimi's universe.
That makes sense.
And the reason why is because when Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man gets pulled into the No Way Home universe, the MCU universe, it opens a portal, right? So there's like a stream of data coming from that universe into the MCU's universe, while Venom from the Sony universe is getting thrown into the MCU universe. So it's like an instant data transfer. So that's why at that moment, it's kind of like one Venom is like colliding with the other Venom, and they're like, oh shit, that looks like a Spider-Man. That's a Spider-Man. Like, that's the same Spider-Man that hurt, or not the same Spider-Man, but that is a Spider-Man that basically contributed to the death of Venom in another universe, even though it's not the same one. You know, they're the same character, same version, whatever, you know. It's a Spider-Man, so immediately he's like, oh, this is a Spider-Man. I have to eat a Spider-Man because he's a dick.
That theory does make sense, but I have one that's way simpler. At the end of the Venom, Let There Be Carnage, Venom and Tommy are talking to... Not Tommy. Eddie Brock. I don't know what Tommy is.
Tommy.
We call him Tommy.
Venom and Eddie are talking about how they want to be superheroes. They want to be heroes, going around solving crimes.
Otto's got a symbiote!
Is everything okay?
No, Otto has a symbiote.
Yeah,
now. We're
Otto,
scared.
the movie critic octopus, briefly switched to his Venom side.
Oh shit, the octopus.
Oh,
Otto.
shit. We're not there in person, so I can't get these visual
I know,
bits.
I'm sorry.
And also, too, every time all of them are talking at once, it's just a wall of sound.
But anyway, my theory is simple. They're talking about Venom, Eddie. They want to be crime fighters, and
They want to eat bad guys.
They want to eat bad guys. So whenever they do the dimensional merge, they're in the MCU now. He sees Spider-Man on TV, and he hears J. Jonah Jameson saying, "Spider-Man's evil. I want Spider-Man.
Bad guy.
He should be arrested." I think Venom just sees him. And he's like, "Spider-Man, bad guy. I need to defeat Spider-Man."
Now, that was something that's also another solid theory, and I think actually might be the more worthwhile one, because now people are saying, like, oh, how can Venom catch on that fast? And it's like, fucker, he just walked past a prison and drew it one for one on a sheet of paper. Like, what do you mean? It literally happens like that, where he's saying bad guy, Venom hears bad guy, he sees a bad guy on TV, he's gonna be like, oh, we have to eat a bad guy. And it's a super powered bad guy, so we gotta eat him now.
Spoiler for Spider-Man No Way Home. Tom Holland is eaten by Tom Hardy, and he's in his belly for most of the movie.
Yeah, and his vor.
Spider-Man 3 is a vor/impreg movie. You heard it here. AYCH breaking news exclusive.
Yeah, and then Tom Hardy's going to look at us with his such plump, precious lips, and he's going to do a kissy face.
But Tom Hardy have those Princess Peach lips, though.
It's not just for this movie. He just has them in general, and I don't know why it took me so long to notice.
Oh, you never noticed how big and luscious and plump his lips
yeah.
are?
When I was watching Mad Max, I wasn't staring at Tom Hardy's lips the whole time for some reason.
That's fair. Because I think my first film I saw him in was Inception. So like I was already kind of like, oh, that guy has some big lips.
Another movie with some really nice homoerotic undertones between him and Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Hey, you know what though? I bros. The whole bro squad.
Because like the whole bit that kicks it off, because because Tom Hardy accidentally says to Joseph Gordon-Levitt, "You must think bigger, darling," because he meant this. He said the line was correct, but he was thinking he was talking to Elliot Page, who was in Inception, but he said it to Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and then that kind of kicked off the whole like gay angle, and plus they're like just bickering like old married couple the whole movie.
Okay, the thing is, Pat, I didn't know that, but you kind of stole my thought out of my head, because I was literally going to say, like, yeah, that scene where Tom Hardy pulls like a grenade launcher out and says that to Joseph Gordon-Levitt. You know, Pat, get out of my head.
I'm going to say most of Tom Hardy's career is like saturated with gay and queer imagery and undertones. And plus, like, there was a mobster movie he was in where, like, I think it was Legend. Like, he plays twin mobsters, and one of the mobsters is like this brutal piece of shit bastard.
Yeah, I've seen that movie.
But he's gay, and he's trying to like have a wedding, and his brother is just like, "No, calm down. You're trying to have a wedding, marry this dude, and there's this lad," and he's just like, just like fucking shit up at the reception.
Well, Tom
Inception.
Hardy's always been appealing to both sides of the spectrum.
Yep.
As far back as MySpace.
Yep. Well, he was putting his thought pictures out there.
Thank you, Tom Hardy, for your MySpace era. You were, it was good.
An icon.
Yep. Yeah, you went from a MySpace twink to a big blockbuster himbo with big old kissing lips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And speaking of kissing, I think it's time to kiss this show goodbye. Mwah.
Without any further ado.
Goodbye.
You guys got me hooked on that.
And good night. Bang. Like Wenzel did that during the Slim Chickens episode, but
really,
but Tanner cut him off.
Rude.
But thank you all for listening to our Venom 2 recap / gay monster fuck watch. So you can always count on AYCH to find the gay subtext in a movie and point out our favorite horny monsters.
Yeah.
Because what do you think the H in AYCH stands for?
Horny.
Hungry.
All horny.
Homeless.
I would say all the above.
Hydrogen bomb.
So, but anyway, thank you all so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed it. You can follow us wherever podcasts are found, and that's on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, on all of those. Be sure to like, rate, review, subscribe on all those platforms. Helps us out, keeps us visible. But since I'm new listeners, and I always appreciate you when you do it. You can follow us on wherever our socials are. That's on Twitter and Instagram at AYCH Podcast, Letterboxd and Facebook at AllYouCanHear, Twitch at twitch.tv/AllYouCanHear, and YouTube as well, which is at AllYouCanHear. If you listen to this the week it came out, on Monday, we released a episode where John, Ken, and I discussed the first episode in a month-long journey into the spooky Halloween content, where we made our very own exorcism movie. And on Tuesday, as I mentioned just a moment ago, it was on the late takes. It was Tanner, Colt, Wenzel, and Cody that had a taste test of the Slim Chickens Chicken Finger Restaurant. And on Thursday, it's a Cajun Greatness, an uncaged episode where Jonathan introduced the Holy Mountain to the Cage crew to a very mixed room, but it's a very fun listen. And lastly, you can follow me, Patrick, on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at John Lost His Name My Art, on Facebook at John Lost His Name Art.
My name is John. You can follow me on Twitter at JONIIBOI24 and John Nunson12 on Letterboxd.
And I've been That Kind of Guy. You can follow me at That Kind of Guy on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd.
My name Colt. Follow me on Twitter, ColtD00. Do me a big favor. Turn into a red muscle man and eat your vegetable.
Without any further ado, I must bid you
my
goodbye mwah, and good night. I'm Wenzel. You can follow me on Twitter at Wenzel. You can follow my art Instagram at WordofWenzy. Thank you. I have a link tree. You can follow my Letterboxd and Goodreads for reviews of movies and books. Thank you.
Yeah, stay tuned for Wenzel to demonstrate his finishing move, the one Wenzel Angel.
Yeah.
The actress that played Shriek also played Miss Moneypenny in the 007 movies.
That is correct.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So long.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.